This moment has come. Together, we will create and fill the first product in Ergonode. Mastering the knowledge from the previous lessons was essential to be able to start managing product data consciously. To create a new product, let's go to the Products and select the catalog. Now let's click to the New Product button. It was on the right. It is a unique product identifier. We also have to specify the template. Optionally, we can indicate one or more categories. The product card appears in front of our eyes. There are several tabs with various options. We should already be familiar with the context of the first one, General, from creating the product process. We will leave the Template tab for later. And in the history, we have all of the changes that this product has undergone. Depending on the selected product type, the Groups or Variants tab may appear over here. We already talked about them. Now, in the comments, we can see the comments related to this product and even leave our own. The Collections tab allows us to see in which collections the product is located. We will talk more about the collections soon. And then there is the template. You'll probably spend most of your work time over here. This is where you fill in the product information. We see the attributes arranged according to the template we created and selected. Everything is divided into the sections. At the top, we have the status bar, and we will talk about the contents of this bar later. For educational purposes, let's fill out the product card together. First, the title. As we can see, the product name attribute is marked as required. Now, contrary to the appearances, we don't have to fill in this field to save or even publish the product. In Ergonode, this is an option that is supposed to suggest which fields are important. Its use will become extremely important when we talk about tracking progress and workflow conditions. What is often important in creating titles is their length. The character counter can be useful for this. You can count on it. Now, let's fill in the brand. Here, we have a select type attribute. We look for the name from the given list, or we add a new option if it is a new brand in the database. Now, next to it, we have the warehouse attribute, which is a multi-select. It works very similar to select, except that we can indicate several values. The values will be separated by the commas and in the order they were added. Properly parameterizing products is extremely important for the accuracy of the product data model. Let's fill in a few of them. Here, we have a whole section dedicated to the technical parameters of the bicycle. Now, to limit the typos and make work easier, most of the parameters are a select type attributes. Some of the attributes are numeric fields with a specified unit. This will only accept numbers, including decimals separated by a comma or a dot. Notice that some attributes have a question mark icon. These are hints that were introduced when creating the attributes. Now, let's move on to the section for copywriters. Here, we have the fields with descriptions. Now, instead of creating a description from scratch, we can use the artificial intelligence to help us. To generate a description using AI, we have to choose the Auto-Generate Content option hidden under the 3 dots. Right now, we would have to indicate the attributes on which the description should be based. The ability to choose base attributes provides greater specificity of the desired description. So let's choose the name, brand, country, and all of the technical parameters. Now click Generate Content. And we would have to wait a moment for the text to be generated. The description has appeared in this field. It's worth checking if it meets our expectations and if it needs any correction. We can use the same function to paraphrase existing descriptions. In this attribute, let's select the Auto-Generate Content option again and only indicate the previously created description. And we got a completely new description. Another way to make our work easier is variables. In Ergonode, variables call up the value of a particular attribute and use it in another. This way, we can create a text field from the varying values of multiple attributes. Let's see how this works in practice. So, let's go to the description of a bicycle's drivetrain, and we're working to use the values of attributes designed for describing technical specifications. Let's supply the name of the rear gear. To call up the value, we must type in a hash sign. Once we type it in, we also need to type the name of the attribute we want to use. In our case, that will be a rear gear. Now we can only see the name of the attribute, but once we click on the eye icon, its value will also become visible. Let's also add the name of the front gear as well as the number of speeds, again using the hash sign. Nothing is stopping us from copying this description and pasting it to the other bikes. The driver names will change to the correct ones through the magic of variables. You should know that at this point, you can only use variables in the text area type attributes, including with the rich text function enabled. We can pull the values from text attributes only, but expect to expand the scope to other attribute types in the near future. Using variables provides full control over the content and makes it easier to create descriptions in bulk using mass actions, which we'll be discussing in the next lessons. Now that we have the content prepared, we can work on its appearance. In text areas with RTE active, we can style the text and add basic HTML elements. We can recognize an attribute with active RTE by the plus icon in the right corner. This plus allows it to add the elements such as header, a table, a photo, and etc. Let's add a header here at the top. Over here, let's add a picture. And down below, let's paste a video. In addition, by selecting the text, we can format it. Such formatted description is converted into pure HTML while saving. On export or synchronization, it will be transferred in this form. For example, to the stores page, where it will be displayed according to the CSS styles of the page. Our production is still missing media, such as photos or videos. Let's fill in those gaps right now. In this template, we have several attributes for product photos. Now at the very top, we have the general image, which is used to preview the product in Ergonode, but can also be used as the main photo at your online store. Notice that we have the general image attribute again in this section, which we already filled in at the top. In the media section, we have the remaining attributes. Image additional is intended for a single photo. But for the image gallery, we can add any number of the photos. The order of selecting the photos is very important. If you want to remove or modify the selection of the photos, the appropriate options are hidden under the three dots. When it comes to adding videos to the product, there are several ways to approach it. We can either keep the link to an external server in the dedicated attribute, or embed a video from YouTube or Vimeo in the text field with the RTE enabled, as we did this a while ago. And back to the section. In this section, we still have the manual field to fill in. As the name suggests, we should attach a file with instructions over here. Ergonode supports many file formats, including PDF, zip, docs, or even the 3D models. The last type of attributes to fill in are product relations. They work very similarly to the photo galleries, except that we select other products from the catalog instead of the photos. Product relations will be most useful for cross-sell and upsell. Now, the option to go to the product indicated in the relation can be useful. This option is located under Other Options in the attribute menu. Congratulations! We have just created and filled in our very first product in Ergonode. You have now mastered the absolute basics to be able to work in Ergonode. Now, the next lessons will focus on deepening your knowledge and showing you how to not only manage the data, but do it efficiently. We will discuss features and benefits for teams, as well as the data exchange issues. Now, take a deep breath and let's keep going.